adore the show. You know, I grew up, my mother loved the film growing up. I love the film when she showed it to me. So obviously this show means a lot to me. And obviously it means a lot to so many people. You know, we're coming back into a world that so many people have so much nostalgia for. So in terms of both production and writing, when you're dealing with these legacy characters, so Willow, Sorsha, particularly the legacy of Mad Mardigan, especially the way that you handle it in the show, what was it like sort of figuring out how to handle that? Were there nerves involved, or was it, you know, let's just tell the best story that we possibly can?
It's interesting because it isn't until this question right now and the very eloquent way you phrased it that it clarifies for me is that the truth of it is it's actually a great gift. It's a huge benefit to have these characters and these sort of legends built into the story you're telling, because with a fresh piece of material, you don't have anything to base it on. You have to sort of give them everything. Warwick comes into Willow with so much credibility that you can't, it's an invaluable resource, more than any VFX could ever be, is simply seeing him standing there on a mountain holding a staff. You know where you are. And same, frankly, with Mad Mardigan, it's like that we were going to tell this story where his children were going to be so at the center of it. You really need to have some place to go with a larger than life legend. And even really from its inception, Mad Mardigan was always going to be a question at the center of the show we were going to make, you know, and where he went and how his legacy sort of created these two children felt inherent in what we were going to do.
The bar is so high as well when you have those kinds of characters like Willow, like Mad Mardigan, Sorsha. It's just, then it creates that challenge of, okay, we're introducing new characters and they have to, you know, meet that very high bar that's been set. And I have to say, we feel very lucky that our cast is so incredible and embody these new characters beautifully. They are just instantly delightful, fun, very modern. And it does feel like, you know, to be able to have done both, to have the legacy characters, as John says, and introduce new characters that you immediately bond with, that is the best you can hope for.
And I will say, I adore all of the new characters that have come into this.
So
and
glad.
I see so much of Mad Mardigan and Sorsha in Kit and Eric, and that watching that made me so happy. And I told them that. But in terms of, you have so many characters, was it a struggle to sort of balance, you know, everybody getting their due time on screen, or did it just kind of, when people came together, it was natural?
Right. Answer
it's interesting because I imagine, though I couldn't say with from any experience, that it's much harder on other shows where the characters are all separated. With this story where they're all sort of united in a quest by the middle of the first episode, what you get is that feeling that, you know, I grew up with a father who loved writing ensembles of dinner table scenes and people together, and that's great fun, and it keeps the story very focused on what they're after and what they want, you know.
The magic of them together is, for me, my favorite thing about the show. And funny enough, being here in London right now, I find that every time I'm in London, I tend to watch Friends because it seems to be on all the time, and I adore it, and I fall right back into it. And as I was watching it again this time, it reminded me just the warm feelings you have of being part of this group that you just love the feeling of hanging out with. You see a version of yourself within all of them. They feel so at home, and the chemistry with them together is so delightful to me. You know, this new group of unlikely friends,
and you know, last night
on this adventure, that is my absolute favorite thing about the show.
No, last night we screened the show for some people here in England, and afterwards we were out and the girls were together, and Michelle snapped a picture of Aaron and Ruby and Ellie, and it's exactly like the show. The camaraderie that exists between them is that authentic and real, and I hope it comes off on the screen because it's all love.
It absolutely does. And I think the thing that this show sort of also carries with it is the idea of hope and perseverance that the original film carries with it. Is there anything else that you hope people take away from this show?
Yeah. I mean, I think that what's interesting about television versus a movie is that a movie is such a tight, lean bit of a ride. You know, it's a rush. It's a hit of the gas. With a show, you've got 8 hours and you really have an opportunity to build out these characters in ways that movies simply don't allow. And what we wanted, and what I think we've gotten to, is a layer of complexity and conflict in each of these people that is really honest and relatable. They're all sort of wrestling with what they want and what's expected of them, you know, and trying to figure out how to navigate those poles over what we hope will be a long story.
I think it also continues what was so thematically strong about that original film, which is that heroes can come from anywhere. You know, it really is about your character, about courage, about being selfless, being brave above anything. And all of our new characters have to face those same tests. And by the end of the season, you know, the hope is that you leave with those feelings, those aspirational ideas, and you want to see them again, which we sure do.
We do.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the show. It's wonderful. And thank you so much for talking to me.
It's great talking to you.